How is kicking women off of health care who get Medicaid lowering the cost of living? So I know that these things are distractions that we're talking about, but why won't Donald Trump deliver on his promises? Because he lies. That's why. They're doing nothing to support the American people.
Why would or should the American people trust Democrats to lower the cost of living after the last 4 years?
We have created more jobs.
No, cost of living. You brought it up. You said Trump's not delivering. I just want to know why we should trust Democrats who skyrocketed inflation. Why would I trust you?
I don't think it's
why would I trust you?
That's a smug Democrat mouthpiece going speechless after one simple question from Republican and CNN black sheep Scott Jennings. Welcome to Nerk News. I'm Nerkish, and it looks like Democrats are still desperately trying to rebrand themselves as the party of the working class again. The only problem for them is that Americans' memories last longer than 5 seconds ago. Here's Scott Jennings and Governor Chris Sununu baffling Abby Phillip and her panel of liberal lackeys with the notion of delayed gratification.
I mean, Governor, it would be one thing if it were just the back and forth on the tariffs, but the overall picture is starting to look very bleak. I mean, tomorrow we will get some numbers, and there are flashing red signs everywhere that those numbers could be quite grim. If you're a Republican, and I hear all the time, Republicans are supposed to be the party of stability and confidence, and you'll want to invest in the United States. That's not the message that businesses are
He's
getting
playing the
right
long term, and I think he's doing it actually pretty smartly. We knew tariffs were going to come. They're going to keep coming. They're going to keep going. He's going to use them for leverage on various things. If you have a president that only worries about the stock market tomorrow, it's not. Because he's not worried about the immediate per se. He's worried about the long term, making sure America is strong for the world.
But I just want to understand just the logic of this. If he wants tariffs, why not just put the tariffs in and stick with it? Why go back and forth all the time?
Because he's going to go not just back and forth with countries. He's going to go back and forth with specific industries, with different areas. It's about using leverage. He's going to talk about fentanyl when it comes to Canada, Mexico, and China. He's going to talk about opportunities as we get peace eventually with Ukraine and Russia, opportunities in leveraging Europe, making sure Europe's doing their piece.
Tuesday and today from Canada and Mexico, that is the utilization of leverage, as you just laid out.
Well, again, those discussions are constant. He doesn't do this just in a complete vacuum. The discussion is constantly moving back and forth. He was very clear trying to make a point that there's a heck of a lot of fentanyl coming over that northern border.
You know, liberals have really proven time and time again that they simply don't understand transactional politics or negotiations, because everything is ultimately short-sighted power grabs for them. It's why our spending is out of control. It's why nearly every one of their policies has resulted in disastrous long-term consequences, and why they continuously create problems for themselves by doing petty things for short-term political gain that are immediately used against them when they're no longer in power.
Retreat. I mean, he backed off. He absolutely backed off.
There is no question that inside the Republican Party there is some resistance to this. I mean, that's just a fact. And there are issues, particularly on trade issues, where Trump is not an orthodox conservative. He didn't run on it. He has been very open about it. Some of the party supports him, some don't. In my home state of Kentucky, both Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul, not often aligned on issues, are both against it. You hear this from some corners of the party, but Donald Trump believes in this. And I suspect there is going to be some tariff strategy over the entire first term. And
But Scott, I hear what you're saying Trump believes in, but do you think it's a good idea?
Right. Yeah, that's my question.
I trust the president to deal with Canada and Mexico.
Okay, but do you think it's a good idea to slap 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico and then take them off and then put them back on and take them off?
And what happens in a year? What happens in a year? I'm curious
Everybody yell at me, then I'll answer.
I'm not yelling at you. Cut it out. Don't do that to me.
Everybody go, and then I'll answer one at a time.
Don't do it, Scott. Don't do it.
I'm going to let Ashley
Don't do it. As your...
You know, call me crazy, but I think if CNN put a few more shrill women screaming at Scott Jennings, it would really help make their case. I mean, it's truly impressive that none of them seem to understand the role uncertainty plays in negotiations, which President Trump is clearly attempting to use as a powerful tool to protect American industries, bolster national security, and encourage domestic job growth. This on and off nature that Abby Phillip keeps complaining about is providing him with strategic flexibility to maximize leverage in his negotiations.
Reindustrialization, but boy, it's a tough thing to do. You have to do it carefully.
I think Biden's industrialization strategy was to industrialize more government. I mean, a lot of jobs created in government during Biden.
America brought back a chips industry in 18 months. And what
was the announcement this week? That a chips maker from Taiwan is opening up a massive operation in Arizona. What was the auto industry announcement this week? That Honda is putting a plant in Indiana. $1.7 trillion already in announcements from this administration on investing in the U.S. economy. I agree with you, what you said earlier, reindustrializing, juicing American manufacturing. It is a worthy goal, and that is the mission of the tariff plan. He strongly believes in tariffs, and if they're slapped on over a long period of time, we'll see if he's right.
I guess
but the governor,
it's one tool.
The governor is exactly
I
right
guess you
about
guys are defending a tariff strategy that's actually not being put in place.
It's not a
The
strategy.
tariff strategy that you're describing is Trump saying, I believe in tariffs, carte blanche, let's just put them on there. But what he's actually doing is saying tariffs one day, no tariffs the next day. Tariffs one day, no tariffs the next day.
He's trying
if
to,
he really believed in what you were saying, he would just stick with his strategy, and he's not doing it.
He's trying to find the sweet spot with countries and industries. And he said today there will be no more extensions past April.
I just have to say,
The funny thing about establishment media and shows like this in particular is it's usually filled with liberals who are know-nothing, underachieving midwits who pass the time by playing armchair economists and foreign policy experts. The women at that table have likely created nothing of value and probably couldn't negotiate their way out of a paper bag. This carrot and stick method that Trump is using avoids the economic downsides of permanent tariffs like sustained inflation or supply chain disruptions while still achieving his policy goals. It also has the potential to generate significant federal revenue. I mean, a 10% universal tariff could raise $2 trillion over a decade, which could help fund tax cuts or infrastructure without increasing the deficit like liberals always want to do. By toggling tariffs strategically, Trump can adapt to economic conditions and geopolitical realities, which makes it a useful, dynamic tool for putting America first, which is something the political hacks on that panel clearly oppose. But let me know what you think. How do you feel about President Trump's method of tariff negotiations? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!